Hi everyone, it's Marika here. If you don't know me, I'm a professional ballet dancer from Japan, and today I would like to make a video in English because I've been gaining so many non-Japanese speaking followers, and today I have a really exciting announcement and I'm so happy to be able to share this to everyone. So let's get into it. So I have a big exciting announcement. I finally got a contract with ballet company and I will be moving to Montenegro this summer. If you've been following me for a long time, you probably know, but I worked in the ballet company in the States for 10 years, one company in San Diego, one company in Pittsburgh, and then third one for 9 seasons, I worked in Santa Barbara, California. I left that company last year and I auditioned for everywhere. The audition didn't go well. So I moved back to Japan exactly a year ago. And I've been trying to figure out my life. I've been sharing my stories, mostly in Japanese, but from now on, I think I'm going to try to make more English or Japanglish content. Anyways, so it's been such a hard journey, and thank you so much for all the supports who've been following me. So the audition process was pretty interesting. So I would like to share about it. Last audition season, I mostly applied for ballet companies in the States because I was still living there and it was easy to travel and I felt more familiar with how the companies in the States work. But that obviously didn't go well, so I went back home. This audition season, I tried to apply for everywhere in the world. I got invited to take audition in the company in Serbia, and I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do it when I got invited because that audition was held during Golden Week, which is the holiday week in Japan. Flight from Japan to Serbia was extremely expensive. I obviously wanted to take audition, but financially I didn't know if it's gonna be worth it. So I called my best friend Asa-chan, who lives in Finland. I asked her advice because she already lives in Europe and she is more familiar with the culture. And I told her about my concern, and also I was scared to travel somewhere that English is not their first language. And I was also scared to travel alone in Europe because I hadn't been in Europe for almost like 15 years. I actually went to ballet school in England when I was 15 for a year. So I used to live there. And Asachin goes, well, you should definitely do it. And I was like, She was like, I will teach you how to travel Europe, and you are coming to Finland before you go to Serbia, and you can stay with me so that you don't have to travel during the Golden Week, and we're gonna find a cheap flight for you. I was like, oh my gosh, she's an angel. I mean, she always has been an angel. I was still like, oh, I don't know, like I feel bad staying with you, blah blah blah. But she literally started looking for cheap flights for me. I was very stressed, but as the time goes, I was like, okay, I think I want to do it. And I changed my mind. We eventually found a really cheap flight to Helsinki. It was actually Tokyo, Shanghai, London, Helsinki flight in like 30 hours or something. It was crazy. But it was not bad at all for the price. So I booked a flight to Helsinki and I have this plan to Serbia, and I had 2 weeks in the middle. I also wanted to try to audition more places if I'm there. I started sending emails to companies that area, and then I got a response from this company in Montenegro. And I initially sent my materials when they had catalog audition, but I couldn't make it. And then they responded to me saying, oh, we didn't find anybody who we are interested. So would you like to take company class soon? And I was like, yes, I'm coming to Europe actually. So can I take company class before I went to Serbia? That's how my trip got decided. I also contacted my friends who lives in Europe, and I ended up traveling to Finland, Paris, Vienna, Montenegro, and Serbia in 3 weeks, which is not really like me because I know I look like I'm such an adventurous person, but I'm actually not. I'm like a dog. I like routine and I like fixed plan. I want to be sustainable, if that makes sense. I don't really like to take detour to make it to the destination. So this was a bit challenging for me. It didn't really make sense for me to take the tour to travel elsewhere to audition. But anyways, that's how my audition tour turned out. So I would like to share about the trip as well because it really broadened my perspective. So I flew into Helsinki, and so Asa-chan, she moved to Finland and I lived in the States, and she didn't come back to Japan for a long time. So we actually didn't see each other for almost 2 years, but we always, talk on the phone and FaceTime and everything. But it's really different when you actually see each other in person. It was really nice to spend time with her and see how happy she is living there. And then I flew to Paris after Finland, and it was full of surprises. I never thought I would belong in French ballet just because of my image. I grew up watching DVDs of Paris opera and no one looked like me. Rarely saw Asian dancers. In my mind, French ballet would never accept me. It was really scary for me to even take open classes there. But since I'm already there, the auditions are coming up, so I took open class in Paris. I was pretty stressed out because everybody's so beautiful, and during Grand Allegro, teacher made me do the combination alone, and I thought I would get yelled at because I'm not doing it in a certain way or wasn't really sure what was going on, but I just did the Grand Allegro. And then he praised me. Everybody looked like they liked me, and I was like, this is weird. I thought I would never get compliments, especially in France. I was happy, obviously, and everybody started talking to me. I think nobody thought I would speak English. They were so happy that I can actually be able to communicate with them. And I felt bad that I didn't speak French, but they just didn't care. Like, they wanted to know where I'm coming from and where I'm dancing. They started researching how I can stay in France to dance. I really didn't think that I would fit in the dance community, especially in France. But they just loved me and they were really helpful and friendly, and I was very happy. Day after that, I went to take other studio to take open class, and similar stuff happened. The guy who was teaching the class contacted me on Instagram after I took class, and he was asking me if I'm interested in working for him. I thought it was coincidence or luck thing that they liked me, but I guess they don't have dancers like me, so I got complimented a lot, which was very surprising. That experience really taught me sometimes you are the person who's blocking the opportunities because of this certain conception. I shouldn't assume the consequences without trying because you never know how people would react. Sometimes it's just in your head, and I think it's really wasteful of your talent or possibilities if you don't be courageous and try. So yeah, Paris taught me a lot. I would like to go back soon. And Vienna was beautiful too, obviously. Everywhere I walked was art pace. I was really happy to see my friends who connected through Instagram in Vienna. I watched ballet, I went to museum, I went to palace. Every day was the best day of my life. And then I flew to Montenegro, and now we're going to talk about actual audition process. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot. During the company class, I obviously took ballet class, and then I danced classical variation and contemporary variation, so they watched me everything. And I'm so glad they did because I think they know my actual skill, not just, the entendus. I was very happy about the audition process. The company manager showed around the city after the auditions so that I could have the idea of living there, which was really nice of her, and it's not really normal for ballet companies to do that. And then I had an extra day in Montenegro. So I traveled to Budva, which is an hour away from the capital city. And it was such a beautiful town, and I felt very safe and comfortable traveling there alone. And then after Montenegro, I flew to Serbia, which was my initial main to make this trip. Serbia was interesting. The audition was a big audition. I think there was more than 100 people in total, and we had divided groups, so it wasn't hundreds of people all in once. But yeah, it was really a big audition. Even the people who got selected from video were there. And that didn't really go well. I could tell from the beginning that environment doesn't fit me. I was feeling down about it for a little bit. And then I flew back to Japan. After 2 weeks, I got email from the company in Montenegro saying he got accepted to dance in the company from fall, and I was really happy. Yay! It has been such a long, rough ride to get to this point, and I'm so happy that I'll be moving to Europe. After the trip, I wanted to go back there as soon as possible, and I just didn't think this would happen this quickly. And I'm just so excited to see more countries and meet more people and figure out what I actually want in my life. I want to say thank you to people who helped me to make this trip happen, people who I met there, or people who let me stay in their apartments. I just want to say thank you so much. And I appreciate that I'm in the environment where allows me to do what I want. Next, I want to talk a little bit about reflecting the past year not being able to get a contract. I was definitely in the darkest place, and I was watching the video from exactly 1 year ago, and I got really emotional by watching it. Like I said on the recent short or reels or TikTok, whatever, recent video, I appreciate this time because my life has always been on the go since I was a child to make a dream happen to be able to become a professional ballet dancer. I had enough time to heal. I appreciate the support I got from my family, obviously, who let me stay with them and gave me enough time to figure out what I want. And my teacher, the ballet school where I grew up, for letting me use their studio in order for me to be able to keep dancing and take class and everything. I just appreciate it so much because I know it's not really common. And of course, I appreciate my friends who have been very supportive during this journey, and of course, my followers. This period taught me a lot about myself as well, what I want in the future and what I don't want in the future, or what I don't want to go back to. For example, I want to work for someone who I actually respect. In order for me to grow, I also learned what my strengths are, which is I am very resilient. It's really hard for me to give up on something what I truly love, even though I had period of time doubting if working for a ballet company would be the best for me. I wasn't sure because it's it's a rough career. Like, you get judged every day according to your dancing skill, and dance is such a subjective art form. So it's really hard to live in that career for a long time. And I'm happy that I didn't lower my expectations, which means I didn't work for something I didn't want in my life. For example, working with toxic people or work for crazy low fee, which some people endure. It didn't make any sense for me if I'm working for something I didn't want. After quitting a ballet company I worked for, I was more clear about what I didn't want than what I wanted. So I felt like I was being greedy or a bit selfish. But after a while, I was more clear about what I want in my life. I honestly feel like I'm finally back to my true self. Towards the end of life in the previous ballet company, I was just not in the best place. I was always complaining. I was very pessimistic about everything, and I just didn't feel like I was growing, and I just felt very stuck without any hope. So I'm glad I left that environment. And now I am very excited about my life, and I'm glad I'm doing something about it, trying something new and broaden my perspective and meeting new people who I would have not met before. And I appreciate everyone who have been supportive. I really do. I could never do it alone. And thank you so much for always being there for me. This past year and a half have been so rough. I started my career in the States. I built up little by little, and I just felt like I lost everything after I left, even though it was my own decision. I'm editing video right now, and I wanted to add something. I believe that my work never mattered as I was leaving the company, because I really felt like my hard work and performance never mattered. I was really sad about that because I put all my passion into it. I tried my best all the time. And I was talking about it with my friend, and she told me that my performance mattered to her. It really helped me because I realized that my performance did matter to people who I care and who I love. I thought it was such a wonderful message that I wanted to add. The life usually doesn't go the way you hoped for, and that's normal and it's okay. If you are struggling with your life, you will eventually figure out, and I want to say you're not alone and it's okay to seek for the help. Do I speak Montenegrin? No, I don't. Do I know anyone? No. Am I excited? Yes, I am so excited. I'm so excited for this new chapter of my life, and I am so excited to be able to share this journey with you. Thank you so much for watching the video, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe this channel, and if you have any questions or comments or anything, leave it in the comment. I'm reading everything and try to respond to every single comment. Yeah, I'm kind of tired because it took such a long time to film this. But anyways, thank you for watching and see you guys in the next video. 今日からみんなもハッピーダンシング。またね。バイ。